Hello, I'm Bernie Hayes. Today's guest is Bob Hansman. He's an author and very dear friend and member of the St. Louis Black Radio Hall of Fame. Today on The Bernie Hayes Show. And welcome back. My guest is Bob Hansman. Bob has a brand new book out on Fats Woods. Welcome, Bob.
Hi, Bernie.
Good to see you again.
You too, always.
Tell us about the book, Fats Woods.
Oh my. Well, talk about an unexpected phase of my life, right? So you want to hear about how it started? How it came about? Is that what you want to?
Tell me about it. Yeah.
So I was hanging around Mackler Shepherd Housing one day. My friend Carla and Miguel. I think you probably know Tilly's Corner, right?
Mackler.
Yeah, and you know.
And Jeff Vanderloo.
Yep. And you know Carla and Miguel at Tilly's Corner, right? Do you know them, right?
Sure.
So I think they had me come over to Mackler Shepherd. They wanted me to talk to Billy Johnson.
Okay.
And so I got there. I thought we were just going to chat, right? But then they had a copy of the Pruitt-Igoe book. And they said, "Oh, you mentioned fats in your book." And I said, "Yes." And how could you tell the story of Pruitt-Igoe without talking about fats, right?
Yeah.
And they said, "Would you like to meet him?" And I was like, he's alive, he's out of jail. And so they called him. Apparently they had this kind of worked out in advance, right?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And he came back to meet me. We talked, and I thought, this is a nice little conversation. And a couple of days later, I get a call from either him or his daughter, right? Marie said, he's been thinking about doing his memoirs for years, and we think you're the guy to help him with it. And that's how it started.
This is the book we're talking about, Pruitt-Igoe, which is also a very good bestseller on the bestseller list, authored by Bob Hansman. And it says Images of America, Pruitt-Igoe. But we've talked about that before, also with Robert Greene. About the book, yeah. But Fats Woods, this is interesting. So when you met Fats, tell us about that scenario.
Well, he was wary at first, right? He didn't know me, and I think he's justly protective of his story because there's so much out there that's wrong about him. Right?
Sure. A lot of rumors.
Underplaying things, overplaying things, just flat out lying, people trying to get attention to themselves on his coattails.
Sure.
So, but because he sought me out, I think that was a little easier, right? It wasn't like me coming to, trying to do something with him.
Okay.
And so I think he was just kind of wanted to talk and see if it might work. And what happened that made the whole process work, and I can tell you about that, is because we're so close in age and both grew up here. Probably I spent more time in St. Louis than he did because he was in Leavenworth for a lot, right? Yeah. But we had this nice shorthand that he'd mentioned someplace, like London and Son or Friedman's or whatever, or mention people's names, and I knew who he meant and I knew where he meant. Okay. So it wasn't like trying to work with some young biographer that you have to explain everything to. So we had a nice shorthand, and then every time we'd finish our little interviewing, which we did that on like tape recorder, week after week after week for God at least a year, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And but then afterwards, we just got so we just kind of became friends, right? And afterwards, we just drive around the city and look at stuff and reminisce, and it was neat and very unexpected friendship, right?
How long was he incarcerated?
God, like 20 or 30 years. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, they gave him that 30. I think he got out less than that, but yeah, it was decades. It was decades.
How did he react to the rumors, to the mystique about Fats Woods himself? How did he reveal that to you?
Basically, he just started telling me the truth.
Okay, the truth.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference.
Yeah. And now and then we'd sort of, he kind of laugh, like, oh, they credit me with this or that. But But what's interesting is, although they lied about a lot of the specifics he did, the underlying truth they understood is he had a lot of power. You know, he could influence people. He was respected. You know, he was kind of a Robin Hood character for real, right? And so I think the city and the powers that be recognized who he was, even though, but then to try to keep him reined in, they made up a lot of lies about him.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, on this picture of the book, front cover of the book, he's pretty fat. He's not fat
He was like
anymore.
300, yeah.
They call him
lost
Fat
weight.
Fools because he was obese.
He was really obese. There's stories in the book about, you know, when he got shot and he's on the ground, and it took like, you know, 8 people to pick him up and get him in the ambulance, right? But he lost weight in jail. That's when he did it. He had an incident where he just kind of like almost passed out almost, right? And it looked like it was his weight and just other things because of the weight. And he was determined. He said every time they opened the doors to the yard, I got out there, and while everybody else was clowning around, he was just round and around and around the track. And yeah, lost all that weight. I mean, he looked good when he came out. Right? He looked good.
What do you want us to know about this book, Bob, and what get from the book?
For me, what I realized, first of all, I just did it for him, right? But when I realized writing it was, it's a kind of an alternative history of St. Louis. It's you hear about a lot of places, you hear about people that you'll recognize, but you hear it from the other direction, so to speak, right? And you know, a person I knew who's a judge, a retired judge, read the book, and he said it was so fascinating to him because he saw the other side of this all the time, right? And it was he found it very informative to know what it was like, you know, the people that would come to him. So I think, but I really just think it's another history of St. Louis. It really is. It's just.
Were there any confessions that he made to you that perhaps people don't know about, that people we should know? The good side about Fats Woods?
Well, I think, you know, a lot of folks in Pruitt-Igoe knew the good side. It was the people outside that didn't.
Okay.
Right. And, you know, when like we were at the book signing the other night, and there are all these people speaking, giving beautiful tributes to him. You know, what he did for them, what he did for the community. He would, you know, he fed people. He got uniforms for the kids at school if they didn't have any uniforms for, you know, if they needed something to go to the prom, he would get it for them. I mean, you know, he would sometimes pay people's rent. You know, I mean, so whatever he got and however he got it, he just plowed it right back into the community.
We did good things with it.
Yeah. In fact, the very first line of the book that I use for the first line is something like, you know, some people thought I was doing bad, some people thought I was doing good. And so it's like a two-sided story.
Sure.
And that's really him. But I think the two sides are what was really going on and the way other people portrayed it.
Okay, so tell us how you feel personally about the book itself.
I'm really proud of it. I think the whole thing was just a blessing for me at this point in my life. But I like the way the book came together just physically. Because, you know, when he first said the idea of doing a memoir, I had this kind of dry idea of, you know, long chapters of blah, 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 blah. But you know, when he started talking and we started recording him, there were these wonderful short stories, right? It was this interesting, this hysterical story, this touching story, this infuriating story, right? and I mean, his language is so beautiful. I mean, he not as I'm transcribing, I hit a phrase and go, oh my God, that'd be a great chapter title, right? Okay. And after I had like dozens of those, I go, you know, this isn't going to be a book with just a couple long chapters. This is going to be a lot of these vignettes with these wonderful titles. I mean, the table of contents is 3 pages long, right? And it reads like street poetry, just the titles.
Bob Hansman is my guest, and we're talking about Fats Woods, Bob is an author of Pruitt-Igoe and also the Fats Woods picture. We'll come back and talk about Bob Hansman after this. But we're at the New Life Evangelistic Center. We're 2428 Woodson Road at Overland, Missouri, where Reverend Larry Rice has been doing good for more than 50 years. Back with Bob Hansman after this.
Hey, viewers of the Bernie Hayes Show, have you ever seen so many people as you travel around the streets of St. Louis City, St. Louis County, over in Illinois, Jefferson County, St. Charles County, that are homeless? So many out on street corners, so many people are having to sleep outside in vacant buildings. The New Life Evangelistic Center's got teams going out every day, working among those individuals, taking them hundreds of bottles of water every week, hundreds and hundreds of sandwiches. And now as winter comes upon us, we're having to get blankets and sleeping bags and tents, long underwear, even making little canned heaters. Just so many, many needs. And that's why your involvement in New Life Evangelistic Center is so very important. You could be a volunteer and go out on the streets with us. Call us at 314-421-3020. During this holiday season, you could actually help make these canned heaters. We'll show you how to do it, where you get a gallon can and put some sand in it, and then you put a smaller soup can in there and a candle in the middle of that and a quart can over that. I mean, just a lot of creative things New Life Evangelistic Center is doing. That's why we really want to encourage you to go to our website at nlecstl.org to learn about them there. Feel free to call us at 314-421-3020. Please remember the work of New Life Evangelistic Center in your prayers, and please share that much needed gift. New Life receives no city, state, or federal dollars, and your giving is so very, very important, and it goes so far in New Life Evangelistic Center. We have a dedicated team of volunteers and trainees that take every dollar that you send in and provide $3 worth of direct services helping the poor and the homeless, the fatherless, the widowed. Please get your business involved, your church involved, and send those gifts to New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, that's 63166, or you can give online at nlecstl.org. We need your partnership at this particular time. Our teams are going out daily among the poorest of the poor, and we need your help now as we move in these winter months. Your gifts, your prayers are absolutely essential at this moment.
And welcome back. My guest is Bob Hansman, not only the author of Pruitt-Igoe is one of the books that he's written, and also his current book is called Fats Woods, more or less a biographical description of the man that became almost a legend in Pruitt-Igoe, right?
Very much.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But also Bob Hansman, radio announcer.
Yeah, how about that? Thanks to you.
Yeah, RHF Radio. I mean, you got pictures, people coming calling you from Australia and
It's
all
crazy.
around in Europe
It's
and
crazy.
Far East.
Well,
Tell us about Bob.
It helps to have some former students around the world, right?
Yeah, sure. Tell us about Bob Hansman. Who is Bob Hansman?
Well, who's Bob Hansman?
Yeah, that's what I asked.
Yes, I know you did. I'm not sure I'm the one to answer that, right?
I asked you first.
Yeah, I'm on the spot. So, honestly, the answer to that goes back to when I was a kid. Okay. I mean, really, and I think I've hinted at this with you. You were a part of that. When I grew up, it was in St. Louis, it was very segregated St. Louis. Yeah, you remember that?
Sure.
We're in the civil rights movement, and I used to listen to you and Doug, and I'm gonna get teary-eyed. Lou, everybody on the radio all the time. KTZ, WESL, that's all I listened to. It was one or the other. Mm-hmm. And I had grown up in Afton, right? And and hearing you guys on the radio was just like, this is a world that is not where I'm living, but it sounds really good to me.
It's a different world.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a totally different world.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I wanted to buy records, right? And I couldn't buy those 45s out where I was living. So I'm listening to you guys. It's like, Hudson's Embassy, Joe's Music. And it's like, okay, how do I get there? I can't even drive, I must have got up there on a bus. I don't even remember when I started coming up there. Yeah, sure. And I started hanging out there like Rozelle's, and I was just getting to, I just started hanging out on Easton Avenue, right? Martin Luther King now, right?
Yeah, sure.
And
Easton,
and I think, just falling in love with the North Side, and then seeing everything was happening on a national scale, especially with the civil rights, all the violence, all the killings, all the two things just shaped me, you know. And I, you know, when I do these tours of the city, I always get very sentimental when I get on Martin Luther King.
What tours? You do tours for Washington University. Tell us
Actually, I
about
do for all over the place. I just did one for German exchange students a week or so ago. They're basically social justice, racial, and black history tours of the city, starting at Mill Creek Valley up to, you know, the Pruitt-Igoe, St. Louis Place, the Ville. I mean, just kind of everything, right?
Sure.
Hamilton Heights. But when I get to Martin Luther King, it's very emotional for me, because I've often said, and I mean it with all my heart, to the extent a street can create a person, that street created me.
Right.
Yeah. And I was there because of you guys.
Well, you know, you're an activist too. We didn't mention that. Because you have some social issues that you're very concerned about.
Yeah, I mean, still,
and
I
you,
bring
you
them
don't just talk about them. You take action.
Yeah.
I mean, you're out there marching. You're with the people, and I admire you for that.
Yeah. I mean, that just became like second nature. I mean, I've talked with Jamal on Jamal's show. Jamal, she got the show right before me. I mean, I talked about the time I actually got beat up by the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
For
I didn't tell
all
us
that
about
stuff.
that.
Huh?
Tell us about that. If it's not too ever.
Yeah, well, you know, I laugh about it now, but I mean, it was during the time when basically we were killing students right and left. I mean, it was Jackson State, it was Orangeburg, it was Kent State, all of those, right?
Sure.
And actually there were 2 student killings in Lawrence, where I was, but I don't think they've ever
Lawrence,
gotten.
Kansas?
Yeah, I don't think they've ever gotten press. It makes
So
me
you went to Kansas State?
KU.
Yeah,
University of Kansas, yeah. And, you know, we hear about some of the shootings, right, and killings, but you don't hear about others. It makes me wonder how many other places things were happening we never even heard about, because, you know, one of the kids, there were 2 kids, a white guy and a black guy, both killed in Lawrence. The black guy was killed basically in my backyard.
Wow.
And the white kid was killed a couple days later at a protest over the black kid getting killed. And it was in that context that I was doing, you know, leafleting and things in the downtown, and you know, we were near a pawn shop, and at one point these guys come out of the pawn shop with like bayonets and rifles and walk over to us, and we had some literature, and they like stab the literature, right, and are marching around. And, you know, go back in this pawn shop, and later on, these pickup trucks come roaring down the street, gather around us. These guys get out, took me and this other guy in the back in the alley, and just beat us up.
Wow.
And I actually, and I'm thinking I'm going to die here. It was that bad, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm the next one, right?
I can imagine.
And. But we did to survive. I went to the ACLU about it, and they did an investigation. And it turns out, some of the police force were on the Klan and all that stuff,
Sure.
right? And they asked if I wanted what I wanted to do. I said I wanted to press charges, and they said, if you press charges against the head of the Klan, we cannot protect you. We cannot guarantee your safety. And I said, arrest him. And that night, my lawyer's office was bombed.
Wow. Wow. Your life was in danger. You actually was in danger.
Yeah, it was.
Well, you survived it, Bob.
I did.
And we're very happy that you did survive it.
Yeah.
My goodness, it was...
Try to do good with
that's
it now,
traumatic,
right?
man. And right now, it brought you all the way to become a best-selling author, Fats Woods, and...
Do you know another interesting thing I'll mention? This book just got translated into Persian.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Pruitt-Igoe.
A guy over there, read the book. He's an urbanist and teacher, and he emailed me. I thought it was a joke. He said, could I translate your book into Persian so people over here could read it?
That's wonderful. That's great.
Yeah.
So Bob, how can one get the book? How can one get this book? How can we get the book?
Right now, the easiest is to get in touch with me or Fats.
Okay, you are Fats.
Yeah, and I can give you my number.
Please do.
Yeah, you can call me at 314-494-1930.
Okay, that's a little fast for us.
Okay, 314-494-1930, 1930.
Okay.
That's an easy way. I believe, we're publishing it through Lulu.
Okay.
And I think you can actually get on and order it there now. But if not, just call
Give me
me.
a call, Bob Hansman.
Yeah.
Well, talking to Bob Hansman, and he's the author of Pruitt-Igoe and Fats Woods and other things too, and also a radio announcer and civil rights activist. And we're the New Life Evangelistic Center, 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. And we just hope that you'll support us through Post Office Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, 63166. And also give us a call to 314-421-3030. Back with Bob Hansman after this.
It takes many partners to operate New Life Evangelistic Center. We're a large ministry operating and serving so many people all throughout Missouri. And so we appreciate so much Bernie Hayes and his many years of dedicated service to people who are experiencing homelessness all throughout Missouri. But we need people like you to partner with Bernie Hayes and with New Life Evangelistic Center to make a real impact in the lives of people who are hurting now. In a very practical way, you are being the hands and feet of Christ in the streets of St. Louis and Springfield, Missouri, and beyond. So I want to thank everyone who is partnering with New Life Evangelistic Center. I want to challenge you to get involved today for the glory of God and the good of others in our community. Thank you so much. And God bless those who are making a big impact on the lives of hurting people.
Our Black History subject for today is Corporal Roman Ducksworth, Jr., a military police officer who was born in 1934. Ducksworth was on leave to visit his sick wife in Fort Ritchie, Maryland. His wife was expecting a sixth child, and he was ordered by a police officer to get off a bus, but she was traveling. He refused to get off the bus, and he was shot. It is believed that the police officer may have mistaken Ducksworth for a freedom rider who was testing bus desegregation laws. The NAACP took the case, but Ducksworth's murder was ruled a justifiable homicide. In 1946, a Supreme Court ruled that groups seating on interstate buses was banned, and after Ducksworth's murder, the courts tried to say that he was drunk and shot in self-defense. However, the family disagreed. The family of Ducksworth continued to this day to wait for justice for his murder. When Ducksworth died, he was only a few months short of finishing 10 years of service in the U.S. Army. He died April 9, 1962. Ducksworth received full military honors and a 16-gun salute. Corporal Roman Ducksworth, Jr.
The Bernie Hayes program is produced at NLEC TV right here at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. We're working to help so many people through a wide variety of safe houses, training programs, transportation assistance, so many ways people are getting help because of all of you that are supporting the work of New Life Evangelistic Center. Now, if you'll send a gift of $25 or more, we want to send you this special, the Bernie Hayes Show cup. And we're giving that to people. It's just a way of saying thank you. So when you send your gift, request a cup. We'll be happy to get it off to you. It's New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. You can give online at nlecstl.org. Now I'm really asking all of you to join us in praying. The needs are so phenomenal at this particular time. So many hurting and homeless people are contacting us daily, but we're able to help them because of each one of you that are praying, caring, and sharing at this time. Tell your families and friends about NLEC TV and get directly involved yourself.
Once again, our guest is Bob Hansman. He's the author of Fats Woods. He's also the author of Pruitt-Igoe. But this book here is currently out, and we can get it through his phone number. Once again, the phone number they can call Bob.
Yeah, it's 314-494-1930.
Why should I buy this book?
It's a support Fats, right? I think it's going to be one of the most interesting books you've read in a long time. Mm-hmm. It's a page turner. I think it's also very informative. I mean, it talks about everything from like his parents down south, almost like folk medicine. I mean, that's in there. You've got a glimpse into sort of the political underside of St. Louis. Got some really alternative views of people you probably think you know about, and just a story of kind of redemption. You know, I just think it's fascinating on so many levels. I must say, when I started to do it, I had no idea it was going to be this interesting a book.
Okay, so now when people buy the book, have you got any reverberations from it or feedbacks?
Everybody loves it. I mean, that's what I'm so excited about. You know, there's a little bit of pushback in some quarters, but it's not the book. It's the idea of the book. It's the idea of giving him a forum, you know, a voice. It's like, well, why wouldn't you? Right? But I think some people have ideas about other people. Yeah. Some people like to control the narrative, and I think some people just don't want him being given a voice.
Okay. Are you satisfied with the book?
I'm more than satisfied. I'm proud of it. Yeah, very much so.
And we can get it.
I'm a tough critic of my own work.
Sure. But what were the inspirational features? What were the segments that really got to you? You can do that briefly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of it was just outrage over the legal system and the stuff that people put him through. Some of it was just really heartwarming, you know, family kind of things and friendships. Some of it was heartbreaking, you know, about his son and his nephew.
They were killed.
Yeah. But I think what's amazing about the book also is the breadth of it. I mean, he said, I want to tell the truth, and the whole thing. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I don't want to over-dramatize it, either one. But so it's got heartbreaking things in it. It's got hysterically funny things in it. It's got social awareness and outrage in it. It's really human.
How's it affected you? That's called dead air.
Huh? Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, you're going to clip that out.
But it's all right.
What was the question? How's it affected me?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know how to answer it, Bernie.
Really?
I don't know how to answer it.
Okay.
It helped me put details of things I knew vaguely.
Okay.
But I think just knowing him, because we did the book together, has been the biggest blessing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That friendship that grew out of it. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Bob, I just wish you all the luck in the world with the books. Pruitt-Igoe is still available too, right?
Yeah, you can get that at regular bookstores and online and everything.
Yeah. But once again, how can we get the book? America's Last Ghetto Godfather.
Yeah,
How did that title come about?
He just said it. He said, that's the title.
America's Last Ghetto Godfather.
Yeah, because we were toying with different titles, and he said, that's it. You know?
How can we get it?
You can either stop by Mackler Shepherd and ask for him. You could most easily just call me.
Once again,
314-494-1930, and I can take care of it from there.
Congratulations, Bob, on the book.
Thanks, Bernie.
Congratulations on being a friend.
Thank you.
Thanks
Yeah, you
very,
bet.
very
That goes both ways.
Appreciate it. And thank each and every one of you for supporting the New Life Evangelistic Center, 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. I'm Bernie Hayes. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Have a good day.